We have Justin R. here. Being out of the industry doesn't matter. The internet is forever. Now, based on your selfish, got-to-get money, fast desires, you, your family, and your kids will always be shamed for a great decision.
Yeah, this is actually a good point to bring up, which is that, I don't know why this is not brought up more often, but I do tend to bring it up quite a bit, which is what happens when your kids come over to you and say, hey, look, Mom, this is you blowing this guy, and we have it all on film. And this is you blowing this guy, and this guy, and this guy also, and all these kids at school are beating me up, Mom.
Yeah.
And so that seems like one of the best arguments against pornography I can ever think of.
Yeah, I totally agree. Honestly, I think that when I was in the porn industry, I really didn't think about the future. I honestly didn't care if I lived or got deleted from life. Like, I really hated myself. I was very insecure, had a lot of self-inflicting thoughts. So I didn't consider the future. And now that I am a wife and a mother, that is something that my past has come back to haunt me. Now that I'm, like, my husband and I, we were practicing, no sex before marriage. And we were on a date one day, and he gets a direct message, and somebody sent him a picture of me with another man. He'd never even seen me naked. I was mortified. And so, yeah, I think that our decisions definitely have consequences, and I'll own up to that. One thing that I'm doing with my children is already kind of having like age-appropriate conversations. My daughter's only 4, but I often tell her, Mommy used to make a lot of bad decisions, and she doesn't know what that means. She goes, what did you used to eat, like a lot of candy? And I'm like, kind of worse than that, babe. Like, I'm not going to tell her at 4 years old. But that is a conversation that my husband and I will have to have with her. And I share this in all transparency because those 7 years that I was in porn, I wish that I could give those years back. I wish that I didn't go down that path. I really do, because our decisions do have consequences. Right, but you can't
put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Right, I can't. And I own up to that. And I'm not trying to say that what I did... I'm owning up to that.
I'm not beating you up for it. I'm glad that you repented and moved on from it. But what I'm saying to you specifically, and it's very important, because it's tying back to our earlier shame conversation. Is there anything worse that you can think of that would bring shame to your children more than them seeing their mother having sex with men on video? Could there ever be? I can't actually think of anything that would make a child more ashamed of their parents than that. I can't think of anything.
The thing is,
I think if you were a serial killer, that would be less shameful to a child than having that happen.
Not really, because they wouldn't have their mother in their life. She'd be in prison. But no, it's definitely...
I'm talking about shame, not about outcomes. That would still be less shameful, I think, than if somebody walked over and went, hey, look, I fapped to your mom last night. No, I can't think of anything more that would be more horrible to a kid than that.
I have been out of the industry for 12 years, okay? So it's been a long time. There's a lot of people that, are out there and doing their thing. But regardless, I am teaching my children how to be empathetic. So, for example, we see a homeless person in the store. You know what, babe? Let's go and pay for his groceries. I'm teaching my children how to empathize with people so that when that time does come, it's like, yeah, I know my mom did that and that sucks. But like, I also teach my daughter too, 4 years old. This is great for any parents out there because children are being exposed to porn at the age of 8 years old. So what I do is I tell my daughter.
Hang on, I gotta ask you.
I teach my daughter. I'm still on a thought here, so just a moment, please. I teach my daughter that if anybody ever shows her...
We got to go bang, 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 you know what I mean?
If anybody ever shows... I taught my daughter, if anybody ever shows you an image or a video of anybody that is wearing anything less than what you'd see someone wearing at the beach, immediately turn away and go and tell an adult because that is not appropriate.
Got it. Now, let me ask you a question. Let's assume one of my kids is at school and another kid goes over to him and says, hey, I have a video of your dad smoking. Do you think anybody gives a flying fuck?
I didn't say that prostitution and smoking are the same thing. So are you asking me?
So they're not equal? No,
I didn't. I never said that they were. I never said that they were. Go back.
I think the beautiful thing is God uses all things for good. And now she has a testimony and she can help so many women. And our goal in life is not to make our kids happy.
Let me ask you the same question.
Our goal in life is to serve God. Do you think that when one of your kids goes over to you and somebody shows them pornography of their mother, that they're going to care about that more than their dad smoking a cigarette? I've just got to know. The point is, she now with her testimony, she can use that to help so many women, and that's the reason that we're here on this earth, to help other people. It's not to make sure your kids aren't ashamed. That's
can you
life.
answer my
life
question?
is tough. You're gonna have people break your heart. You're gonna have people,
Yeah,
you know,
can
be
you
ashamed.
answer my question?
No
Do you
one's
think
perfect.
that if one of my kids, if somebody comes over to one of my kids and says, look at your daddy smoking in this video, that's going to be in any way comparable to them going over and say, look at my mom giving this guy a rim job? Do you think that those are in any way comparable at all?
No, in the carnal world.
Carnal.
Answer the question.
I
Yes?
said
You
no,
think
in the
they are?
carnal
You think
world.
that that's
In
going
the-
to bring
in the carnal
shame
world.
to my?
But you know
you think
what?
my
She can
kid's
help
going to be
more
like,
people
oh my
going through the
God,
industry.
he is? He's smoking
You
a
know what? Going through the
wow.
industry, she can help more people than somebody who hasn't been through the industry. She can bring more people to God with her testimony. We stand on the power of our testimony. And the fact that she did that and now she's living in purity and walking in purity, she can do more than those people who have never done OnlyFans.
What does that have to do with my question?
My question
It has.
I mean,
you're doing everything
the
but
carnal
answering the
world?
question.
The carnal world.
I just feel like in
Are there
in
other?
God's eyes,
What's the other
because
world?
to everybody else, spiritual world. In the
What's the
spiritual
other world?
world, she's able to help so many people with her testimony, just like
But the question
I am.
is, what's worse? Is
I
the
said
smoking
no.
a cigarette?
I
Yeah,
said
I'm
no.
going to ask you. So let me
said
ask.
the
Hang on.
smoking the
Don't say
cigarette
anything.
is not
Let me
as
ask the
bad.
question, and then I'm going to be quiet while you answer it.
I
But
already
please try to answer it directly. Let me just ask it directly. Assuming that you and I have a kid in the same school, and he walks over and he's like, look at your dad, he's smoking a cigarette, and shows him a video. And he says, oh yeah? Well, look at your mom, she's giving a guy a rim job. Which one do you think is going to be more embarrassed?
I already answered that before.
Yeah, so can you answer it now?
The rim job.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to be
Answered
clear.
that.
But you said in the carnal world.
That was a side note. I still answered it.
But you said in the carnal world. What? All right, here I'm gonna move on.